The year is 1458 BCE, and the regent female pharaoh of Egypt, Hatshepsut, has just died, leaving the throne of the Egyptian Empire to Tutmosis III. The previous pharaoh's rule had been highly successful, being one of the most powerful countries in history. Largely kept in his regent's shadow, the untested pharaoh inherited this massive empire. This empire had a well-organized military system. However, with his ascension to the throne, vassal kingdoms in the empire saw a chance to rebel and claim their independence once more. Headed by the Prince of Kadesh, the Syrian and Canaanite states of the empire rose up in rebellion, hoping to take advantage of the untested pharaoh. The situation was made even more serious with the addition of the Prince of Megiddo to the rebellion. Megiddo commanded the main trade route between Egypt and the kingdoms of Mesopotamia, and was a very strategic city. This coalition between Canaanites, Megiddo, and Syrians of Kadesh attracted others dissatisfied with the Egyptian rule, who gathered their forces outside the city of Megiddo in late 1458 or early 1457 BCE. Tutmosis mobilized. His forces are marching from Thebes in Egypt toward the rebel stronghold. This army numbered around 10,000 to 20,000, being made up of infantry and chariots. The army covered 150 miles in 10 days and rested at the loyal city of Gaza before moving on to the town of Yemen. Here, Tutmosis III halted to discuss with his senior staff. This was due to their route was blocked by a valley. 3 possible routes were in it. One was a narrow pass, which would require the army to march in single file line, where the risk of ambush was massive. There were 2 safer options, going around the pass. However, these were very predictable. They were the most logical to take. After much conferring, with the generals preferring the road to around the narrow and dangerous pass, Tutmosis III decided the best route was the narrow and dangerous path. He would take the more dangerous option to prove his bravery. This narrow pass meant that the chariots had to be disassembled and horses had to be led in single file line. Through luck, Tutmosis III emerged on the other side. No rebel army was there to meet him. The rebels had been expecting him to take one of the 2 safe routes, and had such moved a majority of their forces to guard these passes, leaving the route to Megiddo open. Tutmosis recognized the opportunity. He set up camp, and during the night, his forces closed in to the enemy. The rebels were on high ground next to the fortress of Megiddo. The Egyptian line was arranged in a concave formation that threatened both rebel flanks, the pharaoh in the center. Early in the morning, the Egyptian attacked the rebel line. The infantry was soon engaged in brutal hand-to-hand combat. The combination of position and numbers, along with an early bold attack, broke the enemy's will. They ran. Those near the city fled into it, closing the gates behind him and trapping all who weren't fast enough. This victory was so major, so powerful, that no one ever dared to revolt for the reign of Tutmosis III. That was my project. GG's.